Hi, welcome back to Table Talk with Christy Harris. Today I'm on location at Story Winery in Plymouth. And here I have Joey. I'll let you say your last name.
Dediashvvili.
Dediashvvili,
Yeah.
Okay. And George.
Bakuradze.
Bakuradze, okay. I didn't want to attempt that by myself. So I haven't been to the winery in such a long time. I think it's been over 5 years. So can you tell me a little bit about what's changed since then?
Yeah. So, in the late 2019, my dad, David Dediashvvili, who is not here right now, I was actually hoping he would be, but he's on his way to Georgia. He should just be landing literally as we speak. It's a dog under the table.
Right. You're going to be able to hear it really loud on the audio of the dog.
Yeah.
Simba, calm down, baby.
He likes to eat everything. And so my dad actually should be landing in Georgia as we speak, which is where this wine that we're going to taste in a little bit comes from. So he bought this in 2019. He saw the beautiful views,
Sure,
which is unlike pretty much any other around. And then he noticed that they actually happen to have amazing wine as well.
right.
Same winemaker for the last 10 years now.
Sure.
And so, he loved it. He fell in love. He was looking at a few places, and this is the one that he decided to call his own. And here we are now.
Yeah, so for people who don't know, Plymouth is about an hour away from Sacramento, maybe a little bit more with traffic, because you can get behind a truck and then it takes a little bit longer.
Yes,
but it's kind of a hidden gem back here, isn't it?
Yeah, literally. That's why we literally put up a sign that says hidden gem.
Yeah, I saw that coming. This was what remind me. So what actually am I drinking right now?
Okay.
So you're drinking Ginori. It's before I tell you what Ginori is, I'll explain that actually wine comes from Georgia, Republic of Georgia, and we are located in the eastern part of Europe, and UNESCO said the archaeological researches in Georgia, and they found the grape seeds which were dated 6,000 years BC. That's why they say that Republic of Georgia has an 8,000 years experience of making wine. And we have more than 500 indigenous varietals grown in Georgia, and we brought 7 different Georgian wines.
Oh, wow.
We imported Georgian wines, yes, made in Georgia with Georgian grapes. And one of them is Ginori, which comes from Kartli region, and but main wine making part of Georgia is Qvevri, and Ginori is lightest version of amber wine because of its color. You see the color. Also, it's because of its characteristics, it's a little bit high acidity because the climate is different compared to Qvevri region. It's a light wine, I would say so. It's like an everyday drinking wine. So I noticed it's nice and dry and nice and dry. Yes. And low alcohol. We ferment wine in a clay pot, and we keep wine on a skin for 6 months. From September to March, and it's called Georgian style wine. So, so you're specializing now in the Georgian wines.
We kind of have like a 3-pronged approach. Maybe George could explain.
Yeah. So this winery, Story Winery, was founded in 1973, and since our foundation, we have been making and we will still continue to make Californian style wines. Like we have beautiful wines like Zinfandel, Mission, Sangiovese. Especially Mission is very ancient vineyard, like it was planted in 1894, one of the oldest Mission grapes in the United States. And also we brought 50 claypots from Georgia. Name of the claypot is Qvevri.
Yes.
And we barred 6 of them last year, and we had the first harvest, and we crushed 3 different grape varietals like Chardonnay, Syrah, and Zinfandel, and those wines will be available for customers in the summer.
Oh, cool! Yeah.
And third direction is it's the second direction, and the third one is Georgian wines. So we are not making any changes. We just adding new wines. So
right. because you don't want to like turn away old fans
Yes,
of
yes.
the way that it was, but you
Yes.
want to bring in new fans with how you're doing now, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And largely because part of the reason David purchased this winery was because the wine was so good. So,
Right.
and now we're up to, I think, close to 30 wines. We're approaching 30 wines, and that soon we'll be up to like 35. Almost too many, but they're all good. So that's the problem.
Well, what's really good is the rootstock that's here and the history of, how long these vines have been around.
Yes, yes.
So that's just
Unreal.
completely crazy. So,
Unreal.
yeah. Can you tell me a little bit more about the Qvevri, the clay pot, the winemaking process?
Yes. It's a egg-shaped vessel. It's made with clay.
Yeah.
And in Georgia, there are a couple of families who make clay pots. And we brought, as already mentioned, 50 of them. And when UNESCO found the grape seeds, which were dated 6,000 years BC, they found not only grape seeds, but they found the clay pot.
Okay.
So, and in that clay pot, there were grape seeds. That's why they concluded that they proved that whoever lived in the territory, now we call it the Republic of Georgia, those people used to make wine in a clay pot. That's why they proved as an ancient method of making wine. So, and in Georgia we have a tradition that when we bring our grapes to our winery, we don't make a separation of the stems and seeds and juice. We crush grapes and we ferment wine on a skin. And if we would made the separation, it would have called the European style. So, and in Georgia, we also make a wine through European method, but we have a rich experience of making wine like a Georgian style, and which means that you need to ferment wine on a skin and keep wine on a skin for 6 months. And it's the very natural way of making wine. We don't do any interventions or we don't accelerate any processes.
Okay.
And when we finish alcoholic fermentation, which continues, depends, sometimes 2 weeks, sometimes 3 weeks, we still Qvevri for the next 5-6 months. So, and when we open clay pot after 6 months, like in the end of the March or beginning of the April or something like that, we call birth of wine. So, and it's the biggest celebration at the time.
Oh, that sounds like a party, huh?
It's the party. It's the whole culture revolves around that.
Oh, that's so
that
great.
date.
So do you actually bury the clay pot?
Yeah, it's buried in the ground.
Okay. Yeah, I wanted to get that clear.
You have several advantages when we are talking about Qvevri, like because of its egg-shaped vessel, wine is filtering by itself perfectly, and also you have the same temperature level throughout the year, like 16-17 Celsius, which is the ideal temperature for keeping wine, for aging, for fermenting, and so on.
All right. So what do we have next on the lineup? Let's taste some more.
We got the Qvevri, if I'm not
Yes.
mistaken.
Yes.
And we'll let George do the pouring.
Okay. What is this grape like?
Qvevri grapes comes from Kakheti region, which is, as already noted, it's the main winemaking part of Georgia. It's Qvevri. It's most popular white wine in Georgia. So, and it's a good moment that you can make a comparison between.
Oh yeah, so
Yeah.
this one's a little darker, still a little bit darker.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. So it's made in Georgia. It's our own vineyard, and we got around 2.5 tons of grapes from 1 hectare, which is very small yield because all of our vineyards, whatever we have in Georgia, goes through a green harvest. So we just do a couple of clusters on a single plant, and the goal of doing this is that all the resources coming from the soil perfectly goes to those remaining clusters, and the concentration of the quality is very high. And so we believe that more than 70% of wine is made in the vineyard. So that's why we do everything in a vineyard, so to get the highest quality grapes.
Okay. So tell me a little bit about your history and how like this came to be. I mean, I know that your dad bought the winery in 2019, but
Yeah.
before that, what did you guys do?
Well, technically, in terms of work, something very different than wine. We'll just say
Okay.
more in like the healthcare industry, because of what the family was in. But yeah, in terms of how winemaking came to be a kind of hobby or like our form of work now, was that everyone practically in Georgia makes their own wine because it is such an integral part of being Georgian.
Mm-hmm.
You'll find some of the oldest churches being 1,600 years old, and you'll see on these churches etchings of grapes everywhere. You'll see on the folk swords. You'll see embroidery of grapes. You'll see grapes literally everywhere. And so, as he was saying, the birth of wine is such a huge event in Georgia that it's kind of just a natural extension of kind of who we are as people to work in wine.
Very cool.
Yeah.
All right. So I know that people traditionally with Story Winery, they like to have picnics out here,
Yes.
come up and make a day of it actually. And I like to not go to too many wineries when I visit a wine region. I like to pick maybe one or two places to taste, but I like to camp out at one place. And so can people bring food and still like they used to do, bring food up here, picnic?
Yeah. We, in fact, for a couple different reasons, it's great. It's really nice to see people like their families enjoying themselves. Like they tend to have such a good time. It's unbelievable what the simple things plus some wine can do.
Right.
And besides that, it makes it easy for us as well because that way we can serve people up at the deck, the main deck, where people can do their tastings, and down here they like to pick up a bottle or a couple glasses and just enjoy their time.
Sure,
it's really awesome for us as well.
Yeah, and so you have a chef. Is he Georgian too?
He's Georgian.
Great.
Yeah.
Tell me about him. What's his name?
Yeah, so his name is Amiran. And he comes down for the club events mainly.
Okay.
Like every month. We had him like for the last 2 weekends pretty much in a row. Not the previous one, but the two before that. We had a Georgian Independence Day celebration with Georgian food, music.
I saw that on
wine.
Instagram. I was like, darn it. I wish I would have known about that.
Have you had the pleasure of trying Georgian food?
No, I haven't. But
one day.
I really love all types of cuisine. I'm not a picky eater.
Right.
There are certain foods I don't like, but as a whole, I'm pretty much open to stuff. So
right.
Yeah.
It's great food. It's great food.
Yeah, it's very delicious. So we make a khachapuri, which is cheese and bread.
Right, I've seen that. I've actually seen that in Lisbon. They have places that make that, but it's done. This the eggs, and it's like a oval shape, right?
Yeah.
Or like a diamond or oval.
Okay, diamond.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oval too. Yeah.
Yeah.
And also we make a Georgian style barbecue, and in Georgia we call Qvevri. On the skewer we have either beef or pork. Actually, anyone can make meat on a skewer, but the difference is that in Georgia we have a tradition that when we have a pruning early spring, when we cut canes, we don't get rid of it. We collect it, we keep it. We make a pile, we dry out. When it's dry, we can burn for making swadi. So because instead of regular coal or wood, we are using grape canes and for making Georgia style barbecue, because those canes produce so delicious flavors.
Yeah.
That's why it's very delicious.
Making me hungry, Joe.
Right, I know. I'm like, okay, now the chef should just walk out and set a big platter of food.
I think that's all I'm going to bring the dog, actually. And he's going to be hungrier than all of us.
Yeah, I know.
He's eating everything under the floor right now.
So what's your favorite food, like, of the cuisine?
Oh my God. The food's so good. And if you think, like, if the country has been drinking wine for 8,000 years, you better bet that they've been pairing it with some good food.
Yeah.
And in this case, I have to say it's hard to pick one because sometimes you need like some meat, and then you like the cheese bread next to that, and then you need a nice salad to cool yourself off.
Sure.
Well, all that. So it's hard to pick one. It's more like in the combination. That's where like the magic is. Yeah. But if I had to pick one, just one, I'm literally starting to water.
I know.
It's khachapuri, what we were talking
Right,
about.
the
but
cheese you would
specifically, it's specifically the one that you mentioned,
Yeah.
which would be achadli khachapuri, that comes from the region that is bordering the Black Sea
Mhm.
on the southwest, and that area is known. And I'll explain this very very quickly and very simply. So imagine like a French roll, an oval, just
Right.
for the viewers.
Sure.
It's I'm sure everyone will get hungrier from this, but including myself.
That's what they're supposed to do. They're supposed to get hungry, have some food, and drink your wines.
Yes, please do. We welcome you. But meanwhile, I'll tell you why it's so important to try this khachapuri. So imagine a French roll that goes all the way around this oval or diamond-shaped pie. And in the middle, it's open-faced, where you have a few different cheeses that have to be very hot, that are tossed in the middle, open-faced. And you take a little bit of butter, you put that in, and you crack an egg right before it comes out of the oven, a couple minutes before, so that actually the cheese starts cooking itself. Then you start with a knife and fork, start mixing it up, getting it nice and blended, and then you start breaking off. Actually, there's one piece I forgot to mention. You take the knife, you cut into the center through the middle, and you allow the cheeses to ooze into the bread, and you start breaking off each piece of bread with your hands, preferably, and then dipping it in and eating it from there.
That sounds
doesn't last
crazy.
long, even if they're huge. 2,000 calories in a moment.
Right.
In a flash.
Yeah, so I better run 20 miles that day, is what you're saying.
Yeah, or drink really good wine and just hope that burns off.
Yeah, just like we're
We are the Georgian foods, our Georgian wines, and people love it. We didn't know that how local people would get Georgian wine and food, but as we see, everyone loves and everyone mentions about Georgian food and wine. And thanks God, we are doing good, and people like it and a lot. So,
Yeah.
okay. Was there musicians here too? Did you have some music?
Yeah. The last couple events we had kind of a live DJ setup kind of thing.
Okay.
The birth of the wine event back in March, we had a little bit of live music. We had a singer and a guitarist, and then we planned, now that things are kind of opening back up and people are out and about, thank the Lord.
Yeah.
Now that that's happening, we're planning on doing a lot more like live music, probably on Sundays.
Okay, that sounds great.
Yeah.
That's definitely something I'd be into.
Yeah, most definitely.
So what does it cost to be in the wine club? Or how much do you have to pay? Because when my husband and I are shopping around for wine clubs, because we belong to 5 of them, because we love wine, we kind of we like to go with a winery that maybe doesn't force you to buy tons of wine, because we like to belong to several, you know?
Yes.
So what's your pricing structure like?
Yeah, George will tell you.
Yeah, before I mentioned the expenses and prices, I would like to highlight the things what we do for our club members, especially. I also need to mention that our main motivation is to share the story and hospitalities that Georgia, the country itself, is well known,
Right,
and is known for actually. And Georgian food every month, free tasting all the time,
wonderful.
every day. Yes, for club people and for their guests.
Hopefully you're not here every day, though. I mean,
If
we
you
welcome
want,
you.
but don't drain the reserves. Leave some wine for people to buy.
We invite them to come every day, so yes, we don't hesitate it. So and they also have a direct access to our library wines, and as a winery. As you already know, that it was founded in 1973, and since its foundation, we have been keeping of every single bottle of, every single vintage of Zinfandel old wine scenes, and they have a chance to get it. To get
access to
to the library,
the library wines,
1980s, 1990s Zinfandel wines, and
wow.
So, and also,
how are those holding up? Are they aging? Are they tasting pretty well?
We opened a couple of bottles. Yes,
we've been pretty pleasantly surprised.
Oh, good.
And also prices are very affordable. We have two different clubs, like Enthusiast. The first one, which is the lower rank, and 3 bottles. And basically, there is no any fixed fee of being our club member. You are just buying a wine with discounts.
Okay.
and
Yeah,
they
pretty
are
massive
getting,
discounts.
they are pretty good discounts, like 20-30% all the time, and 35% off for the club sign up discount. And they are just getting 3 bottles every 3 months,
Okay.
quarterly. And we select specific 3 bottles, and before we charge their credit cards, we are informing them that we selected those 3 specific bottles of wines.
Right.
And if they want to make any changes, they can do it.
That's
without
great,
any
because I
problem.
know
Yes.
some wineries,
Yes.
I won't mention any names, but some wineries just throw in whatever they want to get rid of and go, here
So,
you go.
Right.
But
And
that's not you.
Yeah. That's
Good.
not how you should probably treat your club members.
Yeah,
Right.
you should. You should
Yeah.
treat your club members to Georgian feasts,
Yes.
live music, and wonderful wines.
Amen.
Maybe
Amen. Tell us.
I should have brought club application for him.
Oh, yeah, right.
Yeah.
Later.
Welcome to the
Let's talk
club.
about later.
That's right, yeah. We will chat later about the wine club.
Okay.
So what's next on the list?
Yeah. So we now have the last of the ambers.
And the
Okay.
second club was Fanatic, so it's
Oh, okay, sorry.
Oh,
yes, it's a 6 bottles.
6
so
bottles.
3 bottles and 6 bottles.
So is that per quarter or
Quarter,
per
yeah.
year?
quarter?
So it's either
Okay.
12 bottles a year or
Yeah.
24
Oh,
bottles
so
a
a
year.
case. That's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really
and
easy.
and if for example, if you're an enthusiast and you decide to get a full case instead of the usual 20% savings, you'll get 30% and free shipping, and we ship to almost every state. And if you do a Fanatic, you'll get 30% minimum, but 35 you get a full case, and we'll ship as well.
Okay.
Is there a third level called like Wine Psycho?
We're thinking about it, and if you want to be our first member, we welcome you.
Yes!
And it comes with a Qvevri.
All right,
Yeah.
great. Haha.
It's very rare variety in Georgia.
Yeah, so this is even more amber, as you
Yeah,
can
it just
see.
gets
like
more and
that.
more.
Some
amber.
Kahveti region.
It's beautiful color.
Yeah, and you can even taste the, you could, if you were blind tasting this, you can taste the deeper amber like flavor
Yes.
and fuller bodied. You
Mm.
can actually taste that in the wine. It's really yummy.
Yes. Yeah, you pick up a lot of honey and especially a lighter chinuri. You get some apricot, even some peach notes in it. It's something very interesting.
Yeah.
Very different.
I'm glad I worked out today. That's all I can say. Tasting a lot of good wine in the middle of the day.
Yeah. All very natural. In Georgia, everything's organic. It's some of the most beautiful soil in general. If you think about, just a quick tidbit, if you think about where agriculture originally came from Fertile Crescent, which is kind of like eastern Turkey, basically Georgia area, close to there, Mesopotamia.
Mesopotamia is how I knew it in high school or whatever, junior high or whatever we learned it.
And so that whole Middle Eastern area, now Georgia is on the fringes. It's right, the first large mountain range, essentially the Caucasus Mountains, where the term Caucasian comes from. And right on the outskirts, you get such a lush, delicious soil that you can probably just eat the soil whole and it'll taste just as good as.
Jeez. That's wonderful.
Don't eat the soil.
Don't eat the dirt.
Yeah.
We don't want you. Well, it could boost your immunity.
It could,
and
actually.
now that we need to have high immunity.
Yeah.
So, you know.
All about those microbes in the gut. Take care of your gut, y'all.
Health tips. You get health tips when you're in the wine club too.
Yes,
right?
yes. I'm your health coach.
All right.
Let's do this.
Oh, so funny. All right, so people can find you storywinery.com online,
as well as zin.com.
zin.com. Whoever thought to buy that domain name was a genius.
Yeah, they were.
Genius.
It might be worth more than the winery.
Right? No, I don't think so. And then people can buy wine online on your website. Is that the whole line of the wine?
Just about. I believe we just got the Georgian wine up, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is that correct? Yeah. And so we deliver to almost every state.
Okay. Except states that are crappy and don't accept
that don't
shipping.
deserve wine, I guess.
Just come to California if you can't get it online.
So now we ship in Texas too.
And we ship to Texas, y'all.
because we had a lot of customers from Texas. And
I
we
loved
are
the
not-
y'all.
Yeah. Just channeling my inner
Right.
Texan.
Like, that's awesome. Next to like, magically a cowboy hat's gonna appear.
I got one.
Did you bring your prop bag here? All right, so
guess not.
awesome. So people can get your wines online, and you can find them on Instagram, which is how we connected, which is
Yes,
great.
yes.
And you have an Instagram account at Story Winery, so
Yes.
make sure you follow those guys.
Yeah, we have some awesome stuff coming up. We got our Qvevri, our claypot Chardonnay on the way, which we're really excited about. I'm so excited about it.
Oh yeah,
Um,
cool.
And yeah, you'll see what's happening here. We got a lot of cool stuff coming up.
And then on Facebook, I wanted to mention you're also at Story Winery. So
Yeah.
whoever first laid out your social media was awesome because they made everything the same.
Yes, because they acquired that early on. You know, this place has been going at it for 50-ish years now.
Yeah,
so,
yeah, almost 50. I was what was it, 1972?
yeah, 72 or 73.
72 or
right
73.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As the thing is that we try to do our best in terms of hospitalities, because as I already noted, Georgia is all about hospitality and wine.
Right.
We are trying to bring that our tradition here in the United States, and we try to share our history and passion. We try to explain people the way how we make wine, how the reason why we love Georgian wine, not only Georgian wine so much, and we try our best. We try to do our best, and I'm pretty sure that our beloved customers and our loyal people, they will get many good surprises from us, and we will give them unbelievable experience. So
It's awesome.
and we also, when COVID is over, and hopefully it will be over very soon, we will try to take our club members to Georgia, to experience the wine in a country of Georgia.
So vacation potential. So you'll have like the member pay a certain price, and perhaps make it all inclusive, and then you'll get to stay and then experience Georgian food, lifestyle.
Yes,
Very
and
cool.
the hospitable culture.
Yeah.
We've had many Americans travel there with us over time, and none of them have wanted to come back.
To America.
Yeah.
They don't want.
Yeah, they don't want to leave. I should
Okay,
say.
yeah.
They don't want to leave
It's
the
like-
country, and that's largely due to the amazing culture of hospitality. How people feel just so welcome. How delicious the food is, how amazing the wine is, and how that all blends together in this perfect, almost painting, where I'll quickly explain that on a Georgian feasting table where the wine will flow nonstop and the food will be piled on top of each other like a long feasting medieval style table. On top of that, there's the tamada, which is the toastmaster, and that toastmaster kind of dictates the flow of the toast and how fast people will be drinking, and they'll be drinking fast because they make a very long poetic toast, but at the end of that you usually drink the whole glass. So you do this mix in with food, singing, dancing, and you have just amazing fun event, and that's something we're trying to bring here on top of the amazing local wines that we already have.
That is so cool.
We're very happy. We're very excited, and we can't wait to welcome everyone.
Awesome. So what's the reds?
So that's where it gets really exciting.
Okay.
So now we're going to Shavkapito.
Shavkapito. Okay.
All right.
Shavkapito and Chinori comes from a Catholic region. So it's almost extinct variety.
Wow. Okay.
It's very light.
Oh, I know. It's nice. I love the white pepper on there I'm getting. It's really lovely.
Yeah, Shavkapito is something special. It's a very, you just mentioned, right? It's very rare.
Yeah. So what year is that? 2017?
No, 2019.
Oh, this one, 2019. Yes. Okay. Yeah. All right. Sorry, we're just enjoying the wine. Little pause there. little slurpage action, just having so much fun, you know.
Yeah. Shot Capito is a really interesting one.
Okay.
You can taste that it's like kind of the younger one.
Oh yeah. No,
Definitely.
it's kind of, you know, punchy and
Yeah. It's punchy for sure. It's tart. Like it really
I like
gives,
that though, because it gets like, it's like, when are you gonna eat lunch, Christy? Hurry.
And Georgian food just pairs so well with wine, especially with its kind of higher acidity nature. It's really nice with food.
Yeah. So what did I just get?
This is Saperawi. It's the most popular red wine in Georgia.
Okay.
Saperawi. It comes from our own vineyard.
I love that nose.
That's one that even UC Davis carries.
Yeah, UC Davis has 2 clones of Georgian wines, like Saperawi and Tricazze.
Yeah. So the 2 that we're actually having is some of the more popular varietals of Georgian grapes.
Yeah.
That UC Davis carries.
That's cool, because then the students can learn about that.
Yeah. And they can purchase Georgian vines.
Oh,
and
great.
Plant them. Yeah.
Awesome.
We talked a good amount of the Georgian wines,
But
our 25-ish other wines
right.
are extremely exceptional because not only do we have 6 different Zinfandels here, ranging from our more fruit-forward quartz Zinfandel, which is, just 30-year-old vine, nothing major, but then our oldest vine is a 125-year-old Zinfandel.
Yeah, that's important to note.
Right.
Is the age of those vines.
Yeah. It's and some people categorize that actually as an ancient vine, like anything after a certain number. I believe it's 120 or so, or 100. So we have some old Zins, and this area is of course known for Zinfandel and Barbera. We have a couple choice of Barbera, our reserve Barbera.
Yeah, I love Barbera. That's one of my favorite varietals, and I think Amador as a whole, this is my personal belief, Amador does Barbera better than they do Zinfandel.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we can find out right after this.
Yeah, it's going to be a throwdown.
Yeah, so we have amazing options. We have our Sangiovese growing right next to us here. We got a Primitivo, basically Italian Zinfandel.
Right.
We have our 127-year-old Mission Vine planted in 1894. In fact, the gold miners created this bunk that we're staring at, which is now a tasting room, in 1865. Got 160 years old of woodpecking going on. So you see these things that people will think are bullet holes.
I see that. I'm going to take pictures of that later and show everybody.
And we did a little remodel where we wanted to keep the heart of it. We kept even some original 1865 glass panes and try to keep the kind of what people love about it. And we actually took off the ceiling and exposed the woodpecker holes from the inside with plexiglass on the outside. So you got the light shining through. It's a beautiful work of art, frankly. And we love having people taste from there. It's something very special, and we love sharing that with people. So that's some of
And thank you for sharing everything with me today. This has been awesome. What's the last wine we have?
Okay, the Mukuzani. This one's really special.
Mukuzani is like a flagship of Georgian wine. Actually, the Mukuzani is the name of the appellation, it's the microzone.
Okay.
But the grape variety is Saperawi. But I tried before Mukuzani to Saperawi, but the grape is same. So, but it's a different techniques, different winemaking techniques.
I need a big steak.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
It goes well with
love
steak.
it.
Good note. Yes,
So good.
Absolutely.
All right, so follow these guys at Story Winery on Instagram, on Facebook at Story Winery, storywinery.com.
Yes.
And if you liked this video, first, I'm going to thank you guys so much for your time today. Thank you for your hospitality. I'm a firsthand witness of the Georgian hospitality at this point, and I'm going to just promote the heck out of it. So if you liked this video, please remember to give me a thumbs up below and hit that subscribe button and the bell. Ring that bell, because you want to know, you never want to miss a video. Because I might come back, they might invite me back, they might tell me to never come back again. I don't know. But I hope you enjoyed the video today. So thanks, guys.
Thank you.
All right.
Our pleasure.
So you said there's a special way to say cheers in Georgian, and I think I've seen it on your social media, but
Yeah.
can you say it for me?
Yeah. So the word is gaumarjos, but there's a very particular way of saying it. It doesn't just mean cheers; it means victory, because wine is such a big part of our culture that's gotten us. It's like the defining almost force that moved us through the millennia from invasion to invasion. Wine was always constant, and Gaumarjos does mean victory, and we say one man, the Tamada usually, might say Gaumar, and then everyone together says Jos. And so we're going to try it. So
Yeah.
Gaumar
Jos!
Jos! Yes!
Go much. Cheers.
Cheers, everybody.
Cheers to
Bye.
all of you.
Cheers.